In a video clip that surfaced online, Mandii, a host of the popular podcast See the Thing Is, was seen confronting QueenzFlip, the latest addition to the Joe Budden podcast. The video shows the two at an undisclosed event, and it is clear that Mandii has some advice for QueenzFlip regarding his role on the podcast.
On the fucking internet, I'm gonna look like a fraud, and I don't like that shit.
What about 6 mics?
6 mics is too fucking much. I'll tell you to your face. Don't do it.
That's rude.
And you loud, so it's really giving 8 mics.
So that's hating. You was there. You was doing your thing. You supposed to congratulate and say, "Yo, y'all doing your thing." That was bad, and I didn't even know. And then I meet you, you a nice lady, but say, don't talk about 6 mics. I am 7.
You are 8.
Yeah.
No.
You showing love? You showing love?
You right. You right. Okay, he's not like he is on the mic. I still won't probably listen to the pod, but you were kind of alright.
You gotta not listen to the pod because it's some.
No. I'm not gonna lie. I still listen because of. It was just. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Tell me what took me is a lot. What's wrong with
it's a lot. And I personally would like more from you, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
That
like,
I'm from Queens.
No, okay. But the banter with Joe, everybody come for Joe. That's too easy. That's low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit to come for Joe. It's low hanging fruit. Oh yeah, keep recording. Yeah. Low hanging fruit to banter with Joe.
I don't care about none of that. Those little slick words don't work on me. You can't. Okay. Let's talk about why you was there. You left for whatever reason. That's not my business. But you can't hate on 6 months. You gotta congratulate. You gonna say, yo, you got the new niggas there. Salute.
I mean, the couches are nice. I'm glad y'all fit. I'm glad y'all fit.
We know. Big money shit. We know.
You hear this, man?
We paid for it.
Nah, I know. You came after the couches. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm a part of that couch.
You are now. Congratulations.
And my contract look good.
I love that you signed. I never signed, so I wonder what that looked like.
I can't sign because it look good.
Okay.
The numbers look good.
I hope you read everything in between.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
You did or your lawyer did?
Both.
Oh, you got a lawyer.
But you know what?
I love that for you.
You know what's best for that? I trust my man. He gonna do good by me. I trust my man. Say something. I trust my man. And when I read it,
you trust who? Your lawyer?
No, Joe Budden, my man. Yeah.
I did too. That's all I'm gonna say.
What that mean?
Everyone who has been his friend has trusted him too.
Were you his friend or you was doing business?
Both. I stayed through a lot of shit because
I was my friend.
Exactly.
We ain't talking about that.
I stayed because I viewed him as a friend.
No, that is a friend.
I viewed him as a friend.
That is a friend. At the same time, you gotta let that shit go. You beautiful. The hair look nice. You look like
Stop it.
You look like Casper's sister.
Yo, shut up.
Friendly. You gotta let that shit go. You gotta let it go. Okay. I saw the podcast.
Thank you.
So I didn't like what you said though.
Okay.
First of all, you came at 6 mics. You were talking about me. I took that. They added me.
I told you. I literally said I would just like you personally. If you were gonna be on that podcast, the banter between Joe and I told Ian this. Literally, tweet. It's public. Ian, the banter with Joe is childish, and I just want him to have more substance, like library. If you could go at Ish more intellectually, then I'd be fine. I just want more intellectual conversation.
I respect that.
That's what I like to hear. That's literally it. I just think there's too much banter to Joe. I want to hear conversation, not jokes.
I don't have conversations too much.
I know you was the joke man back in 2012, 13, 14. I remember.
All right, so I don't have but at the same time though, the value is what you bring to the table. So, and on top of that, I rock with Joe because I've been doing things one way my whole life. So then now, when you bring me on, it's something new. I have to be able to adjust and navigate through that.
So then you know what I would like you to hear, like you to express.
No, why don't you tell me?
How you made money as a media person in a certain age.
Mediologist.
It's not a Did this nigga just make a mediologist?
Yeah, mediologist.
I would just like to hear you. You're married. You got a child.
I got 3 children.
Okay.
That's my son right there.
And I would like to.
You're gonna get to that though.
This your son?
Yeah, JR.
For real? Listen. This your daddy? Wow.
Oh, he sent you to the door at me.
Mediologist is a word that I didn't make it up. Not meteorologist, media.
No, I get it.
And then listen. Because of me, they put it online in the dictionary. Because of me, you'll get there. You almost there because you got a spot with 4 places.
Don't do this. Don't
talk. But listen. You telling Ian, hold on. I feel like
publicly.
And you did
publicly.
And they told me.
And Reddit, I'm sure told you too.
And I talk shit. I said I don't know. And then I did my research, and then I realized that women like yourself,
Where's this going?
voice is needed. No, it's needed, and you know, sometimes you can get caught up in the whirlpool of negativity. I don't understand it. I talk shit, but it's needed. And you told me to my face, you feel like you want to hear more from me, not going at Joe because everybody go at Joe, but nobody go at Joe how QueenzFlip go at Joe. That's number one. Number two, Library gonna get his. Library gonna get his. Number three, you gonna get yours next.
Bet.
I'm coming for you. You ain't gonna just talk. All shots towards her.
Initially, Mandii B had her doubts about QueenzFlip's viability on the podcast. This is not surprising, as many fans felt that QueenzFlip was too loud and that having 6 people on the Joe Budden podcast was just too many voices. Despite these initial doubts, however, Mandii B still held strong on her belief that QueenzFlip would be a valuable addition to the podcast. In the video, Mandii B can be seen giving QueenzFlip advice on how to improve his performance on the podcast. She advises him to be more mindful of his speaking volume and to try to contribute more to the conversation in a meaningful way. She also encourages him to be more active on social media and to engage with the fans. It's clear that Mandii B wants to see QueenzFlip succeed on the podcast and is willing to offer her guidance to help make that happen. It should be noted that Mandii B had not the greatest experience with Joe Budden when her podcast was in his network. There were rumors that Joe Budden did not pay them the agreed amount in the contract, and also due to Joe's attempt to steal her podcast co-host, Bridget Kelly. Despite this, Mandii B still maintains on Twitter that she still listens to the podcast and is still a fan. Despite her past experiences with Joe Budden, Mandii B's advice to QueenzFlip shows that she still believes in the potential of the podcast and is willing to give constructive criticism to ensure its success. This is a testament to her professionalism and her ability to separate personal issues from her work. It's clear that the Joe Budden podcast is a popular and entertaining show, and with Mandii B's guidance, QueenzFlip will hopefully be able to contribute to its success. The addition of a new host can often be a difficult transition, but with Mandii B's guidance, QueenzFlip can navigate this transition and become an integral part of the podcast. Mandii B's advice to QueenzFlip is not only beneficial for him, but for the podcast as well. By having a diverse group of hosts, the podcast can appeal to a wider audience and cover a variety of topics. It's important for the podcast to evolve and change in order to stay relevant and interesting to the listeners. Furthermore, it has also been revealed that QueenzFlip had gotten suspended by Joe Budden just a week into his new role as the podcast co-host. This suspension brought more tension within the team, and it could be seen as Joe Budden's lack of confidence in QueenzFlip's abilities and his willingness to be a part of the podcast. However, QueenzFlip defied Joe Budden's orders and attended the podcast recording while they were at the studio. This event clearly made the Joe Budden podcast more divided, and it could be seen as a power struggle between Joe Budden and QueenzFlip. In conclusion, the video of Mandii B confronting QueenzFlip is a positive example of how to handle a difficult situation in a professional manner. Mandii B's advice to QueenzFlip is constructive and shows her dedication to the success of the podcast. The audience's mixed reaction to QueenzFlip's addition to the podcast, his suspension, and his defiance of Joe Budden's orders all highlight the challenges that have emerged as a result of his addition to the podcast. However, with Mandii B's guidance, it is hoped that QueenzFlip will be able to navigate these challenges and become a valuable addition to the Joe Budden podcast.